So you graduate high school, you go off to college.
I didn't go to college. I couldn't get in.
So what'd you do?
This international global youth leadership organization called Up With People
Okay.
came to my high school.
Yep.
And I shouldn't say I didn't get into college. I got into college. They weren't colleges that you could actually put letters on the jersey, be proud of, And Up With People came to my town, and it just changed my life. There was, this Up With People show. There were blacks, whites, Jews, Christians, communists, capitalists, young people singing rock and roll music about building bridges and love. And this is what the world needs, is people that are different, forming bonds. So after the show, I just walked right up to the stage and, what kind of GPA? What kind of SAT score? How do you get Up With People? I had a 2.0. And they said, we don't look at grades. We look at people's hearts. We want to find people that want to love and serve people. Sign me up. So instead of going to Springfield College, I joined Up With People, and it changed my life. And traveled all over the world, went to 85 countries, 84 countries, lived in thousands of host families, and went there when I was 17, went there, and then I went to college and came back and really spent my career. And then when I was 30 years old, I became the CEO and president of Up With People.
Yeah.
Ran it for 5 years. Just changed my life. Taught me how to love all people. All people.
So how did you get into doing what you're doing now?
Yeah, that's Ken Blanchard and
Okay.
Steve Farber and these great speakers. That Steve was on the board of Other People, a speaker, author, wrote The Radical Leap, Radical Edge. And then Ken Blanchard, we hired him to come do a benefit fundraiser for Up With People. We had this thing called Celebration of Peace. We had Colin Powell one year, and we had Ken Blanchard one year. And so I picked up Ken and got to know his heart and played golf with him and really spent time with him. And then that night we had our big fundraiser for Up With People. And Ken was our keynote speaker, but I was the president, and my job was to share the vision for Up With People to the 1,000 donors in the room. And I shared my heart and told stories, and shared my heart and told stories. And when I drove Ken to the airport next day, he looked at me and he said, Tommy, I've never seen anyone move an audience like you. Have you ever thought about writing a book? I said, Ken, I don't think I've ever read a book before, let alone written a book. He says, oh, you got ghostwriters for that. You got a heart. You got a story. You should think about doing this. And he hands me an envelope and says, don't open this until you get home. I went home. It was a check for $25,000 made out to Tommy Spaulding, not to Up With People. CEO of Up With People. It was made out to me, and says, you're going to need this for a website. I already called my agent in New York, and Steve Farber helped me with more connections. Before you know it, I met Michael Palgon, my agent, blah, blah, and I had a book deal. And when I went to pay back the $25,000 years later, Ken didn't take it. He said, give it away. That guy's the real deal.
He's great.
The real deal.